Hello, amazing viewers. Welcome back to our channel, where deep emotions, dark romance, and powerful stories come to life. Before we begin today's story, I want to hear from you. Comment below and tell me where you are watching from. Your support means everything. Now, relax and enjoy this intense and unforgettable story. I never planned to cross paths with the Mafia King. I lived a quiet life, keeping my head down, staying far away from anything that looked like danger. But danger has a way of finding the people who least expect it. The night everything changed, I felt something shift around me, something I could not name. I did not know that a pair of cold, sharp eyes were already watching me. I did not know that my life was no longer mine. When the Mafia King chooses someone, there is no running. There is no hiding. There is only surrender. People say he is the most feared man in the city. They say he destroys whatever stands in his way. I believed those stories until the night he spoke my name like he had known me forever. That was when fear mixed with something I did not want to feel. Something warm. Something dangerous. This story is about how he chose me, how my simple life shattered, and how I fell into a world of power, danger, and a man I should never have wanted. This is the story of how fate tied me to the Mafia King, and why I cannot escape him. My life before him was small and quiet, and I liked it that way. I worked long hours at a small cafe in the heart of the city. I served coffee, washed tables, and tried my best to stay invisible. It was easier to avoid trouble that way. My world was simple, predictable, and safe. Nothing exciting ever happened, and I believed nothing ever would. That changed on a rainy evening. The cafe was almost empty. Most people stayed home because of the storm, so I cleaned the counter slowly, ready to close early. I was tired, thinking about going home, when the door opened. A man walked in, and the air in the room changed. It became heavier, almost tense. His presence filled the space like a shadow that refused to be ignored. I had never seen him before, but the moment our eyes met, I felt something sharp inside me. His gaze was cold, steady, and strangely calm. He was dressed in black, his shoulders broad, his posture firm. He looked like someone who knew he controlled everything around him. He walked to the counter without saying a word. My heart beat faster, and I did not understand why. I tried to act normal. "Good evening," I said softly. He did not answer right away. Instead, he looked at me for a long moment, like he was studying my face. Then he spoke, his voice deep and quiet. "You're the one." I froze. I had no idea what he meant. I opened my mouth to ask, but he continued. "What is your name?" I hesitated. Something about him made it hard to breathe. "My name is Elena." "Elena," he repeated, as if testing how it felt on his tongue. Then he nodded. "I've been looking for you." My hands grew cold. "Looking for me? Why? I don't even know you." He gave a small, unreadable smile. "You will." Before I could ask more, he placed money on the counter, far more than the price of any drink. "Close up early," he said. "I'll be waiting for you outside." My stomach dropped. Fear rose in my throat. "Why?" I asked. "What do you want from me?" His eyes never left mine. "Fate brought you to me," he said, and I don't ignore fate. Then he turned and walked out, leaving me shaking behind the counter. I stood there for a long time, unable to move. I did not know his name. I did not know what he wanted. But something inside me whispered that my life had just changed forever. And there was no going back. I stepped outside with shaking hands. The rain had stopped, but the air still smelled like a storm. I looked around, hoping he had already left, hoping I could pretend this night never happened. But he was there, standing under a street light, like he owned the darkness around him. His eyes lifted the moment I appeared. He walked toward me with slow, steady steps. I wanted to run, but my legs felt rooted to the ground. "My name is Gallo," he said when he reached me. "Most people call me the Mafia King. I don't care what they call me. But you," his voice softened just a little, "you may call me Gallo." My breath caught in my throat. I had heard that name before. Everyone had. Gallo was a story parents whispered to their children to keep them from wandering too far. He was the man no one crossed, the man who could silence an entire street with a single look. And he was standing in front of me, speaking to me like I mattered. "I don't understand," I whispered. "Why me? I'm nobody." "You're not nobody," he said. "Not to me." His words made my heart jump in a way that scared me. I looked away, trying to calm my thoughts, trying to steady my breathing. He watched me for a while before he spoke again. "I know you're afraid. You should be. But I'm not here to hurt you, Geraldina." Hearing my name from his lips made everything feel more real. I forced myself to look up at him. "Then what do you want?" I asked. He stepped closer. His presence felt overwhelming, like heat spreading through the cold air. "I want you to trust me," he said. "I want you close to me. I want you safe." My chest tightened. "Safe from what?" He paused before answering. "From the people who are now asking about you. From the eyes that followed you today. From the ones who think you mean something to me." My blood ran cold. "But I don't. I don't even know you." Gallo nodded slowly. "Not yet. But fate does not wait for understanding. Fate moves and we follow." I shook my head. "This is crazy. I can't just walk away from my life because you say so." "Your life is already changing," he said. "The moment you stepped into my sight, everything shifted." I did not know how to answer. Every word he spoke wrapped around me like a warning and a promise at the same time. I wanted to deny him, to reject this strange pull, but deep inside, something in me already knew the truth. This man was not going to disappear from my life. Then he said something that made my stomach twist. "There is someone watching us right now." I froze. Gallo did not raise his voice. He did not look around. He simply reached out and took my hand, his touch firm but controlled. "Stay close to me, Geraldina. From this moment on, your world is no longer the same, and neither is mine." I tried to pull my hand away, but he held it gently, not hurting me, just reminding me he was stronger. "Let me go," I whispered. His eyes met mine, dark and unreadable. "I can't," he said, "because I have already chosen you." Those words settled into my chest like a weight I could not lift. I had no idea what my life would become. All I knew was that the Mafia King had marked me, and escape was no longer an option. Gallo did not take me home that night. He walked beside me in silence, guiding me down the street, as if he already knew every step I would take. I tried to look around to see who was watching us, but he told me softly, "Don't turn. It will make things worse." My heart thudded fast, but somehow his words held me still. We reached a black car parked by the curb, and he opened the door like he expected me to enter without question. I hesitated. "You said someone is watching," I whispered. "If I get in, does that mean I'm choosing your world?" "You were chosen by it," he said quietly, "whether you accept it or not." I wanted to refuse. I wanted to push him away and shout at him for dragging me into something I did not understand. But another part of me, a part one barely recognized, felt drawn to him. Something in his voice, something in the way he looked at me, made it hard to run. So I stepped into the car. The city lights passed by in a blur as we drove. Gallo sat beside me, calm and quiet, but his presence filled the space. I could feel him watching me, not with suspicion, but with a strange intensity that made my skin warm. After a while, I forced myself to speak. "What do people want from me? Why would anyone care about someone like me?" He turned slightly toward me. "Because you caught my attention," he said, "and when the Mafia King wants something, others notice." My stomach tightened, but I didn't ask for that. "Fate rarely asks," he replied. The car stopped outside a large mansion on a quiet hill. The place looked cold, powerful, and far from anything I had ever known. I stepped out slowly, my breath shaking. "You live here?" I asked, though I already knew the answer. "Yes," he said. "And until I am sure you are safe, you will stay here too." I spun toward him. "No, I can't stay in your house, Gallo. I have a life. I have work. I have responsibilities." "Your life is now tied to mine," he said. "Your work, your safety, your every choice, they matter to me now." "That doesn't make sense," I said. "You don't even know me." He stepped closer, his voice low. "I know enough." The door opened behind us. A few of his guards stood inside, silent but alert. I felt small, out of place, and scared. But I also felt something I hated admitting: curiosity. I wanted to understand why this powerful man was so certain about me. Inside, the mansion was warm and elegant, with soft lights and quiet hallways. It felt nothing like the cold stories people told about him. Gallo led me to a room that overlooked the city. "You can stay here," he said. "No one will enter without your permission." I walked to the window, staring at the lights below. My old life felt far away, too far. I wrapped my arms around myself, trying to steady my thoughts. "Gallo," I said softly, "why did you choose me?" He stood behind me, his voice calm. "Because the first time I saw you, you looked like peace in a world full of noise." Those words made my heart tremble. I turned slowly to face him. "You don't even know who I am," I whispered. His eyes deepened. "Then let me learn." Something dangerous stirred inside me. I should have been afraid. I should have kept my distance. But he looked at me with a mix of strength and longing, and I felt my guard crumble. "You don't understand your value yet," he said. "But you will, and I will protect you until you do." A part of me wanted to trust him. A part of me wanted to run. But Gallo had already woven himself into my thoughts, into my fear, into my curiosity. And somewhere deep inside, I knew the truth. I was already falling, not into danger, but into him. Days passed in a strange rhythm. I woke up in the mansion, surrounded by quiet luxury and the presence of Gallo. Every corner of the house reminded me that I was no longer living my old life. Every glance from him, every quiet word tugged at me in ways I did not understand. I wanted to hate him for taking control of my world, but every moment made me realize how powerless I was against him, and how unwilling I was to fight it. One evening, he found me in the garden, staring at the city lights. The sky was dark, the air heavy with anticipation. "You think this is a cage," he said softly. "But it is not. It is protection. And it is only the beginning. I don't want this life," I whispered, my voice trembling. "I don't belong here. I don't belong to you." He came closer, his steps deliberate, commanding yet calm. "You already belong, Geraldina. I chose you, not the other way around. You can fight it, but fighting will only make you notice it more." I swallowed hard. His words were terrifying and thrilling all at once. "Why me?" I asked. "Why not someone else?" "Because," he said, his eyes locking onto mine, "I saw something in you that no one else could see. You are strong, clever, and unbroken. And I need someone like that. Someone who will survive me. Someone I cannot ignore." I wanted to deny it. I wanted to say no. But my chest ached with a strange longing I could not explain. "And if I refuse?" I asked quietly. He smiled, a small, unreadable curve of his lips. "Refusal is not an option. Not for fate. Not for me." For the first time, I realized what he truly was, not just a man of power, but a force I could not resist. I could run, I could hide, I could pretend I was free, but Gallo had already entered my thoughts, my fears, my desires. I was bound to him, tied by something deeper than fear or curiosity. That night, I understood the truth. Gallo was not just the Mafia King who ruled the city. He was the man who had chosen me, who had marked me in ways I could not escape. And though I felt danger, though I felt the weight of the life I was stepping into, I also felt something I could not deny. I was falling into him, into his world, into his control, into the bond that would change everything. And as I looked at him, standing close, calm, and commanding, I knew one thing for certain. I could never escape Gallo. Not my heart, not my fate, not my life, because he had chosen me, and I had no choice but to follow.